All right, guys. Ian from Such Goes Disc Golf, and welcome to the first Art Disc Golf podcast. Joining me tonight is Alex Olgin, also from Such Goes Disc Golf. Say hi, Alex.
What's up?
That's him. We also have Anthony Musk Vanden Heuvel from Disc Golf Weekly on YouTube. Say hi, Anthony.
What's going on, guys?
There he is. And we have Eric Woyden. He is a moderator and King Troll on Art Disc Golf.
What's up, guys?
There he is. All right, so I guess the first question we want to know is, how long we've been on Reddit, how long we've been disc golfing. Alex, go first, buddy.
Okay. Luckily, I have Reddit open, so I can look and see here. I'm a member of the 6-year club,
Cool.
so that's exciting.
Uh-huh.
I've been disc golfing half that time,
Okay.
3 years. And I got into it because my buddies chose it to determine our fantasy football draft order. So I had to get really good really fast. And that led me to the internet for instructions. And that's how I found Central Coast Disc Golf.
That's pretty much my favorite reason anyone has ever started playing disc golf.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a big fantasy football guy.
Yeah.
So I was a
Whatever
big
it
fan of
takes.
it. Yeah, man, for sure. Anthony, how about you, buddy?
I also have Reddit open. I am a member of the whopping 2-year club,
Woo-woo.
but in my defense, I do believe my cake day is coming up before the end of the month, so I'm slowly catching up to you, Alex.
Cool.
Yeah.
Happy fake internet
been-
birthday.
Yeah, thank you. I've been disc golfing it'll be 8 years this year. Started my freshman year of high school.
Cool. And
Yeah.
if you guys haven't checked out his channel, Anthony, I think you have like the best channel for disc reviews, like period, man.
Word.
I try.
Right? Agreed, guys?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you haven't even set all of them to private.
Yeah.
I
Oh, that was good. But
I do still have the very first ones up in case anyone wants to see how bad they started.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you gotta start
They're-
somewhere. Just look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I actually started making disc golf like review videos, and I was like, this is so much work. I'm not doing this anymore. Like,
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you told me about the judge.
Yeah, I got mad respect for you, Anthony. That's really awesome, man. You're doing
Well,
some great work, man.
Thank you very much.
Helping the kids with their disc selection. Eric, hit us up. What's your deets?
So I've been on Reddit for 1 year, but I lurked for a while before that, before actually making an account.
Okay.
And an interesting fact that most, if not all people from the subreddit don't know is that I have been playing disc golf for 13 months.
Wow.
Wow. You're a moderator.
And yeah, I started playing after I graduated UConn my senior year and picked it up right out of Ultimate and got decently good pretty fast, and here I am.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
So you,
Ultimate
like,
Experience is the fast track for sure.
that really is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are you pretty
Also, the
athletic
whole-
with other sports too, or?
I played soccer, Ultimate, basketball, so it all kind of just came naturally. And I've been working out for most of my, post-adolescent life. So
Cool. I can really tell when you wear that Pikachu tank.
Yeah,
Yeah, that really brings it out, huh?
Yeah.
yeah, dude, it
Sometimes
really brings
I'm
out my eyes.
And I guess it skipped over me. I've been playing since 2003, so that's 13 years, and I've been on Reddit for like 8 years, almost 9 or something like that.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're so old.
Wow.
I'm really.
And you
old.
guys are all way older than me.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I've been on Reddit since Anthony was in middle school.
You probably have been.
Wow.
That's probably not.
Is this
far
a
off,
violation of
actually.
some kind
I think it might be.
of
I
like?
need an adult. Yeah.
Nice. All right, that's what we'll do for the intros. Anthony, you want to kick us off with we got some questions, or what's up, buddy?
First question. Yeah, you want to start with questions from the sub? We could do
Yeah,
that.
sure. Let's do it.
All right. First one I got here is mainly for Ian and then Alex, since you guys do a lot of tournament filming.
Sure.
This is from you, Brett Greased Butt. So very appropriate name for this show.
That's just about
I fucking love Reddit.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, there you go. So he says, what have you guys, again, Ian and Alex, picked up from filming the pros so often?
Okay. I gotta say, the first thing that jumps out at me is like throwing the slowest disc you can for the line. You'll see guys, Paul's throwing rock threes all day, and I used to throw like a lot of high speed stuff. I had putters and I had drivers, and I eventually
Classic.
figured out that you needed some mid ranges and some fairways, and now I throw those most of the time. And another thing I picked up would be like take it one shot at a time. I think that's Paul McBeth's mantra is look at what you got and do what you can with it. And and he does that for sure.
He does
Alex,
it pretty well.
yeah, you got any gems?
Yeah, just like playing smart golf. That's not something that I would do naturally. I'd go out there and just try and crush it because it's so fun to throw discs.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at BSF this year, watching Nate Sexton throw a forehand on that hole that Will birdied.
Yep.
You know the one I'm talking about. He put it into the
Yep.
opposite fairway just because
Just
it
to
gave
have a
him a
better
nice
look.
clean upshot.
Yep, exactly.
So he's like, I'm gonna play the par. I thought that was brilliant.
Nate is a straight tactician out there on the course. Like, especially at Milo, you can't question anything he does. He plays a perfect game for himself, you know.
He knows disc golf.
He
Yeah.
really
Got that
does.
degree.
He does, right? Teaches disc golf. But yeah, that's what I got. Alex, anybody else?
I'm surprised you didn't say barely legal step putts.
Oh yes.
Dude, I messed around with those for a while, man. I got pretty good, but then I was like, didn't want to deal with the controversy, so I stopped.
Yeah, I can step putt okay, but I don't want to like have that come up in all of my league rounds.
Yeah. I think
Word.
I've got some back in the day you could probably see. But yeah. All right, what's up next, eh?
All right. This, internet making the name super easy to read. You, Brett Amold? Brett
Oh, I know that
Amold?
guy. I know that guy.
I don't know how to say that. We kind of covered the first half. He said, how long have you guys been golfing? We already answered that. But the second part was, how did we get into the sport?
Okay. Well, for me, it was just like I had a roommate that played. Then he was like, let's go play. I was like, okay. And then I got hooked. I played a Roby a lot with my cousins growing up. You guys ever check one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, like an arrow?
No, like a Roby disc. You know, it's like a ring.
With the hole in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, the ones that you can throw like stupid far?
Yeah, I used to go to my cousins to like a soccer field and just crush them like, at, 100 yards with no form whatsoever.
Oh, those are PDJ legal, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
When are we gonna see Simon again? I want to get him to throw one.
Oh my god.
Might
I don't know if they would ever stop flying.
hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah, seriously. So we heard we heard Alex's story with the fantasy football action, which I love. Eric, what's yours, buddy?
Well, I played Ultimate in college for 5 years at a decently high, like, national level, and it was just kind of, there was a course 10 minutes from campus, and it was like, oh, let's go in a group of 10 people with one Ultra Star each and hold up all the disc golfers who are playing there.
You're the person that we all hate.
Yep, I was exactly the person that we all complain about for about 6 months. But luckily, the disc hut in Tolland, Connecticut, was a little disc shop that had a ton of stuff, and then the owner there got me into it, and $5,000 later, here, give or take, here I am.
Yeah.
It's cheap to play, right, guys?
Yes,
Right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't become an addict.
Yeah.
Which everyone does. How about you,
No,
Anthony?
Mine is pretty boring compared to everybody else's. My friends all played, and they tried to get me to go out and play, and I just kept saying, no, it kind of sounds dumb. Why would I just want to throw frisbees into trees all day? What's the fun in that?
Yeah.
And then
I ask myself
finally,
that every day.
I still hit the trees, and I still wonder why I play. But
that's more, yeah.
One day they convinced me to go out there, and then we go and play, and we're in the car on the way home, and I was like, "Are there any courses on the way home? I kind of want to play again." And it's just been that ever since,
Nice, man.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly addicted to the sport. If I don't play like once a week, I get really grumpy.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
I play 8 rounds a weekend, dude.
Oh my.
What?
Yeah, I'll get out of work early on Friday, squeeze in 2 rounds in the short layout at Borderland in Easton, and if I don't have a tournament, I'll play 3 rounds on Saturday and 3 rounds on Sunday.
Wow.
I'm jealous.
Good for you, man.
Man, my wife was out of town like a couple months ago, and I played 3 rounds in one day, and it was awesome.
It's incredible. I just show up there at like 8 and I leave at like 5.
Oh my god, man, that sounds amazing.
It's incredible. It's
I'm
like
very
it's my job that I actually won.
Perfect.
That is a profession for some people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe someone that
We'll have on later.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Special guest appearance.
Might have a guest coming on here. He's a pretty cool guy. But anyway, Anthony, next question, buddy.
Next question. You guys want to do one more quick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Keep going. All right.
And we'll get Paul.
This one, this is for all of us. This is from someone who I can actually read their name.
Nice.
This is You Eloquent Monster. And he asks, what are our 3 favorite discs that we don't have in our bag, and why don't we have them in our bag?
Wow.
Oh god.
So not not your 3 favorite discs.
Okay,
3 favorite
alright.
discs that you don't have in your bag.
And I think he said like get a putter, a mid, and a driver or something.
He wanted to, but he posted
just
the
so hard
question
to
a
do.
couple days ago, and I still can't come up with a putter, mid, and a driver. So
All right.
I think I could.
just 3 discs.
All right.
If you want to do putter, mid, driver,
go for
I
it.
think I
Mike.
could.
Go for it.
All right.
No.
So I guess for putter is I used to drive with KC AVRs.
Uh-huh.
And that was the only putter I had in my bag for driving. And then when I found the P-Line P2s, it's basically the same feel, but without the bead and a little less deep.
Mhm.
And it just fit better in my hand. But I still love KC AVRs as discs. And if the P2 didn't exist, that's probably what I'd be throwing.
Okay.
But it's just it got beat out by a little bit. And then for mids, funny story, I actually am going to say the MD3 because I'm
Making a
back to
mistake.
throwing rock threes.
Yeah, buddy.
you're making the worst mistake of your life.
No, I'm telling you, I lost my confidence in them, and at that point, you just can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll gladly take all of them from you.
Yeah,
Well,
you can
I
ask Paul
lost
about
like
the MD3.
4, so
Dang. It must
Yeah,
not have
I
been working
lose-
that well.
I lose discs at a phenomenal rate in New England. It's ridiculous.
Oh man.
I can see that.
And then then for drivers, I will actually go with the new Discmania FD3.
Okay. What's up with that one?
Okay.
Just not as good as a Firebird,
Okay. Gotcha.
and not as good as a PD, and it's like in between.
Oh, okay. Cool. Alex, what's your list, buddy?
Oh boy. I think I'm gonna say the P2 as well.
Mhm.
I tried to find like the P-line P2 because I currently use a hard Warden, and I thought the P-line P2 would be about the closest thing.
It was
Those things like don't exist. Like very
just got
difficult to
restocked.
track down. Okay. Well, all right. Well, there it is. So there's that. And then for a mid, I used to bag the Truth. I still really love the Truth. My bag is now full of maces and very soon rock threes.
And then you're going to switch to the MD3.
I don't know about that. I just, I used to love that grip without the bead on it, and now that I've gotten used to throwing that like mace with the rock profile, man, I tried to throw a Truth again the other day, and it felt weird. Didn't feel right.
I'll convert you.
Okay, all right. And then for a driver, I used to throw the River a lot, and
then you realized you could actually throw other discs because you're not a beginner anymore.
yeah, man, just like
That's so
it,
true.
it occupies a weird space in my bag. I have some maces that I've beat in, and it'll fly straight enough, and then if I need to go further than that, I pretty much just like step up to an escape. So the River is just like a weird tweener disc for me now.
Anthony?
I could not think of a putter,
Mhm.
so I went 2 drivers and then a mid.
Okay.
So the mid range for me is the Rock 3, and that's, I don't know if people have caught on by now, but I kind of like the MD3 a little bit,
No.
just a bit. Yeah, and it flies exactly like the Rock 3, but it's speedless. I get a better release with it, so that kicked it pretty much straight out of the bag.
Okay.
If I didn't throw the MD3, I would absolutely still throw the Rock 3s. And then the 2 drivers, again, people that know me might know I'm a pretty big fan of Pro Discus. Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Groundbreaking news right there.
Yep.
You and your hipster discs.
Finish disc hipster.
Hey. But the Pro Discus Laser, or Lasery, or Laser
I
Eye,
think that's right. I think it's lasery.
Yeah.
one of the 3, is one of the best discs I've ever thrown. You can throw it flat and it just kind of turns. You can throw it with a hyzer and it just stands up and goes perfectly straight. But like Eric said with the MD3s, I kind of just lost the confidence in it. And once that happens, you're just hurting yourself if you keep using it.
For sure.
I still have all of them, and I always want to go back out and throw them again. So who knows? That next week they'll probably be back in my bag, knowing me. But for right now, they're
The
not.
eternal struggle.
My bag rotates so often, it's just stupid.
Well, that's what happens when you get free plastic all the time, buddy.
That's the hard part. It's not a bad problem to have, but whenever I try and stick to a bag, it gets really hard.
Yeah, I bet, man. I'm like I'm super old, man. I just like have my discs, and I played around for a little bit, but then I just have what I have and just rock it out. But
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. My 3 discs, I'm gonna say for putter, I'm gonna go with, I have an R Pro Rhino, which I think is pretty cool. I think, yeah, it's a pretty overstable putter, flies like a brick, but
yep.
I banged like a 120 footer from the knees with it, so it's got a special place in my heart. And then it's pretty fun for mid ranges. I'm gonna have to go with Kyle Ekman's beat up Champion Gator. Anybody seen that one fly?
Huh.
I still don't know how he does that.
It flies like a freaking buzz, man.
I've never seen a Gator do that.
Yeah, but I think the Gator's a really cool disc. I just carry a different overstable mid. And then for drivers, probably like the Turn. I thought was pretty cool, but I expected it to be like a little flippier than it was. Maybe I shouldn't throw it enough.
The Star ones are ridiculously flippy.
Are they? See, I had a G-Star one, which I thought would be pretty flippy, but it was still pretty. I don't know. It wasn't. I have a really like beat up Star Destroyer that's like it's a pre-Avery one. Flat
so it's money basically. You'll never need another driver.
Exactly. It's my long distance bomber, and it crushes pretty good. So I just rock the Destroyers. So that's what I got.
I'm glad you said that because for some reason I thought it was me, but the Champion Turns for me flew like Destroyers. I could not get the things to turn.
Yeah, I was confused, man. I was expecting this like Sky Annie beast, but it wasn't.
It's called a turn.
The Star Turns are like that. I've seen this dude I play with who can throw 500, almost have 100-foot look at 17 gold on Maple off the tee with a Star Turn.
Really?
It's insane.
Wow.
That's just ridiculous.
Wow. Cool. So should we bring in our guest? See if we can grab him.
I think it's about time.
It's about that time.
All right. Let me grab his number here.
No, let me just open my phone, give this guy a call.
Yeah, you guys didn't know our first podcast was going to be epic.
It's pretty crazy. All right. Dial him up. Doesn't have cell phone where he is, so we're doing the cell phone route, so hopefully it's all good.
He doesn't have cell phone where he is, so
wireless. My bad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, man.
He's in the boonies.
714.
Oh, he's in Ohio,
so
yeah, that explains it.
So just read the number out loud, Ian.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I shouldn't do that.
Ellie, if you don't that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I guess he's in Ohio for the Brent Hambrick, so yeah, it kind of makes sense he doesn't have any internet.
Yeah.
Because God knows Ohio's the boonies.
Verizon ringback tone while your party is reached.
Oh, we got a ringback tone, friends.
It's a classy mofo.
Yeah.
Rocking it old school. Vivaldi, baby.
Was 4 Seasons? No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Spring. This is spring.
Boom. Classic knowledge.
Paul.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
What's up, man? Good. How are you?
Good, man. So we got a little podcast action here. We got me and Alex from Central Coast Disc Golf.
What's up, Paul?
All right.
And we got
How's it going, Alex?
we got Anthony Vandenheuvel from Disc Golf Weekly. I don't know if you've ever seen that, his YouTube channel.
On Twitter a few times, I believe.
Cool, man.
I believe that's how I keep saying his name.
Nice, man. And then we got Eric Woyden. He's a moderator on our Disc Golf.
All right. Yeah, I've already lost 2 of the names, but yeah.
It's all good.
That's all good. That's all good.
Yeah, there they are. But I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. So first of all, just congrats, man. Like that was
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was nuts.
Thank you.
It's fun to watch. From Oregon.
Appreciate it.
So you got your 4th straight world title.
Yes.
So you got a favorite shot from Worlds.
A favorite shot from Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be tough. Probably my second shot on hole 2 at Moraine.
Okay.
the standstill next to the tree,
Off
and
the
then
left?
make
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was gross.
that was clutch.
That was a
Yeah, I'm
crush.
still out on a limb and say that was also my favorite shot of the tournament.
Suck up.
yeah.
No, that would have
That-
taken me about 4 from there.
Yeah.
So I would have laid up for a 7 on that hole.
Yeah, you hit like a pretty early tree, right, Paul?
Yeah, it was the first tree in the fairway, but yeah, that shot and then that roller that I threw later in that round to save I guess get a birdie.
What was that on, like 14, I want to say?
13 or 14, something like that. Yeah.
You hit that early clump of trees and just threw the most disgusting
Yeah.
backhand roller. Was that a McPro Rock 3?
Yeah, that's my really beat in one.
Yeah, that was unbelievable, man. What cracked me up? So you remember Deer Lakes? It's a dogleg left, and then it goes uphill, and you went long past the dogleg. You're like in between two trees, and you threw this crazy like huge ante with your destroyer. And you remember what Steve Rico said?
No.
He's like, "That's the best shot I've ever seen."
Ah.
Totally cracked me up, man. That was epic.
That's the one I ended up missing the putt on, though, right?
Yeah, you did miss the
first
putt. You did miss the
Okay,
putt.
yeah. Then yes.
Yeah, you're
I
throwing
did.
it like a big ante between two trees. It was just ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
So
Nice that you could play a whole tournament and have a one that you missed a putt on.
yeah, be amazing.
That'd be every hole.
Best shot Steve Rico's ever seen, and immediately follows that by saying, "Yeah, but I missed the putt."
Yeah.
I
So,
wish I could
I
have
was
that
just
putt.
clarifying which hole it was.
Yeah, for sure. So, are you thinking this is your most impressive performance at Worlds? With you got the injured back, the ribs, you fell off the lead and then just crushed.
Yeah, definitely the one that I had to show the most grit for. I mean, my ribs are still pretty swollen right now. They don't hurt as much like the right side, but I can visually see them and know that they're not all the way right yet. But yeah, it was definitely the most painful Worlds I've had to play. But I really only played good for 3 days. So I think the Charlotte Worlds was probably the one that I played the most consistently well.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this one definitely I played really good when I needed to, and
Yeah, you did.
it kind
Got it done.
of separated myself. Yeah.
So, have you ever set 2 course records at a tourney?
There's not many opportunities to do that, so I don't think so.
Cool. So,
That's insane.
yeah. So, when are you starting to think about 9 in a row?
Oh, jeez.
Once you get to 8?
After 8 maybe.
Cool. All right. So, this next question comes from a fan. It's a Nathan S. from West Coast, USA.
Is that Nate Sexton?
It might be. Despite modern medical science insisting that both food and sleep are essential for peak human performance, you utilize neither. Why?
It is Nate Sexton.
Yeah, that was him.
Oh man. I don't know. I don't like wasting time.
Uh-huh.
In Europe, for example, there's so much daylight, at least for their summers, that I try to stay busy. I don't like wasting daylight.
Cool.
Especially when I could be doing something.
Nice.
But yeah, I've just heard some things from some very successful people, that sleep it's important, but it's not as important as some may
Success.
think. If you want to be successful, you got to use all the hours of the day,
I'm
many
with
as
you, man.
possible.
At this point, I have like 0 free hours in the day. I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah. I mean, it's 11:30 right now here.
Yeah.
I'm doing a podcast.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
I'm
it,
feeling
man.
you. I'm feeling you. East Coast.
He's the man.
Clearly, you don't need it to be a world champion.
Yep.
Well, it helps sometimes.
Yeah.
On the off days.
On the off days.
Yeah, in the off season.
There you go. So we've often heard you say separation is in the preparation. So how do you practice for Worlds, man?
I got there. Well, since there was only 3 courses, I didn't need to get there as early as some of the previous years, and I have played in Pittsburgh before, so I got there I think a week early,
Okay.
or maybe like 5 days early, somewhere around there, and just played each course at least twice minus Deer Lakes. I only played Deer Lakes once because it was so far, and and so hectic to get to because there's no real straight shot to the course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really just go to the course. I was in Boston at Maple Hill the week before I went to Worlds, and I just played that course over and over as soon as I got back from Am Worlds. I just went there, played that course over and over, and just learned all my discs and learned how they were flying, basically. So I was preparing 2 weeks before Worlds, a week in Boston or Massachusetts, and a week at Worlds. So when I was there in Boston, I was just learning my discs and figuring out what they do and what kind of shots I'm really feeling. And then once I got to Pittsburgh, it was nothing but learning the course because I knew what my discs were going to do.
Gotcha.
Now I just need to learn the course, and all my focus went into just keeping the consistency of my shots going. That what I was doing in Maple Hill, but now learning the courses that I'll be playing. So it was really 2 weeks worth of preparation, but only 1 week in Pittsburgh.
Gotcha.
Was dedicated to that.
Cool, man. I gotta ask you a question. So I've filmed 2 of your ridiculous eagles. So we had Blue Lake last year on 17, I want to say, and then
Yep.
Deer Lake's 3. Which one do you think's harder?
That's tough. I think they're both equally, similar. Most would probably say the Blue Lakes one because the drive is so big.
Yeah.
But for me, that was just a basic. It's a common shot for me, just a long, high flex, destroyer,
Mm-hmm.
and then just that low tunnel destroyer. Both of those I'm really good at.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the eagle that hole wasn't as hard as eagling the one at Deer Lakes.
What made the Deer Lakes one hard?
The drive. To throw it down that tunnel, you're throwing it downhill.
Yeah.
It's probably about 450 feet, 480 feet. The fairway is probably 40, 45 feet wide, but you're going downhill with a pretty high-speed driver. I was throwing a Thunderbird, and to get it to fly straight, not only fly straight, but land straight.
Yeah.
Which is probably the most difficult part, and not letting it hyzer out or turn over too much and cut rolling, all the factors. So the drive was the really hard part at Deer Lakes, and then the second shot was pretty tough too because it wasn't flat.
No.
It was kind of like uphill and a little bit of mud, a little muddy, and then with it being only 8:30 in the morning, the second hole, just having the body awake and just pulling that destroyer so hard, and again still down such a tight tunnel.
Yeah, man. I remember walking up.
Just control it.
Yeah, I remember walking up, filming that shot, or getting to that shot. And I was like, well, I don't even think he can get there. And then, you're like, no, I can't. And you just crushed it. I watched you play a bunch. I thought I knew how far you could throw, but
That's what you get for doubting him.
I know, man. Just absolutely.
Yeah. So for me personally, the one at Deer Lakes was probably tougher.
Cool.
But for most people, 17 at Blue Lakes would probably be a lot harder.
Gotcha. So you got some different bag changes for different courses. We noticed you added the PD2. Did you do that to get Simon off your back, or what?
No, it's just another overstable distance driver. It's kind of difficult to find really overstable destroyers.
Uh-huh.
So in order to just take out that whole search, just go with the S-Line PD2. So it takes away all that searching aspect to it.
So that was your most stable destroyer that week?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't throw it too often, but yes, it would have been if I needed it.
Gotcha. So you carried 9 Rock 3s for Worlds? Something like that?
Yeah.
So are they all different stages of wear? Do you have some backups, or?
The 2 champion ones are my overstable ones, so those don't have a backup. But there was probably only 3 of those Pro Rock 3s that I threw quite often. So 4 of them were like kind of backup-ish, just in case, because they were still so new. A lot of them were so new.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they were backups, and then to just be in those wooded courses, you never know. You could be throwing a full power shot and just demolish one of those trees, and that rock's done.
Yeah, no
or
doubt.
that disc is dead. So I was pretty prepared for those situations just in case, because I was going mid-range just so often.
Gotcha. So, yeah, I noticed you also had some Makos in there?
Yeah, I have two Mako 3s. And those are really just for my turnover up shots or drives, because with the Rock 3, if I throw a turnover line, they kind of tend to dive down to the ground, to where the Mako 3s will glide.
Okay.
So I can get them to continually move to the right and just keep gliding to the right, to where a Rock just wants to dive to the ground and could cut, roll, and things like that, to where I don't have to worry about that with the Mako.
Gotcha. And so, we initially got you on because you hit me up on Facebook and told me I was calling your discs wrong.
Yeah.
You got one of those Champ Rock 3s is crazy overstable, Paul.
Yeah, that the one with the blue and purple hearts dyed in it.
Yeah.
Is my most overstable one. It's one of the 3-time ones, and it's really overstable. It's probably my most trustworthy one in the wind.
Gotcha.
When I saw you throwing it, I thought it was a Firebird.
Yeah, I believe
yeah,
you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Firebird with a lot of glide.
Yeah, true story. So, next question. What's your ideal tournament after you pick the courses, number of rounds, and who are your 3 card mates?
Ooh.
Oh, I love the European Open.
Okay.
That's my favorite tournament, favorite course. 3 card mates. Anyone?
Anyone.
No matter
It could be
division.
Kyle. It could be anyone.
Yeah.
Like, so is this like a fun round or a tournament round?
It seems like it's a tournament round.
Tournament round, but I'd probably go. Oh man.
You better throw your boy Nate.
I'd probably put. Yeah, I'd probably put Sexton in there, Dawson there, and then Nico for a little fire.
Oh.
Really?
Solid answer. Yeah.
Spicing
Put
it
some
up.
ends in there.
Get your competitive
Yeah.
juices flowing that way.
Yeah, and then like if I have to tell him to calm down, I can, and he usually if I tell him to calm down, he's like, all right,
Yeah.
he does. It's just,
It seems like Nico's
I
gotten
don't
better
know.
over the years. I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if it's a respect thing or what it is, but if I tell him to calm down, he's kind of like he understands. He might have went a little too far, but
Nice.
it's cool. I let him get away with a lot.
How about those plus 30-second putts, man? I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see that.
sometimes.
We'll
But
leave it at
it's
that.
like, yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not like we're playing slow or anything like that. We're still waiting, so
Yeah, it's true.
I don't see what the difference is to let them line it up a little longer than normal than to just wait on the next tee pad. So
Gotcha.
I think it's more harmful to his game than it is positive. But
No, I actually
I'm
totally
not
agree.
the one to say.
Yeah, when he steps up and he just putts, they go in a lot. So.
Yeah, I was actually telling him that before the semis.
Did you?
Yeah,
Huh.
in practice when we were warming up.
Uh-huh. How funny, man.
So.
So, talk about that dude on the hole 6 final 9 that walked during your putt.
He wasn't even taking. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so how'd you even make that putt?
Man, I closed my eyes.
Did you really?
No, but he wasn't even taking pictures of me. He was taking pictures of people taking pictures of me,
What's it really?
which it didn't make sense. Yeah.
Wow. Little pictureception.
So I don't understand what he was doing, and I mean I saw the basket and I felt like it was a pretty easy putt, so I don't think he distracted me too much, but I just did my routine and let it go, and then just started laughing. I was like, what is this guy doing? So I looked away because I didn't want him to get a good picture.
Oh, that's funny, man.
You could see some people in the crowd telling him off too after, like, hey man, like people are putting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, if he's gonna be distracting me, I'm not gonna give him a good photo. So I didn't even look at the camera or the basket.
Guy's like, he's up by 9, whatever.
Yeah. All right, next up is who are you more worried about stealing your world title in the next years coming up? You got current competition, Ricky, Will, Nico, Or are you more worried about Eagle, Anthony Barella? Like, what are you thinking, man?
Um, Probably the Barellas and the McDonalds
Uh-huh.
and those kids. Probably more worried about them because they got such a long career. Once they get that confidence behind them and that, that the taste of victory in that aspect, then they'll probably run with it.
Cool. So you've been coaching
and
up
then
Anthony?
What was that?
Have you been coaching up Anthony?
Probably not as much as people think, but I do help him whenever he asks for help and things like that.
Okay.
I mean, he's a really smart kid, so he can do it on his own. He'll probably look it up on YouTube and things like that and study it. I mean, he's a really, really intelligent kid. So he studies a lot more than he does ask me for help.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yep.
How are you getting ready for USDGC when that happens?
I'll be there probably at least 2 weeks early this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's not much in between Georgia, the national tour, and there's actually nothing between Georgia and USDGC for me. So I'll have a whole week to, rest the body, learn the courses, and just take some time off as well in there, mentally prepare. Because I do only have 4 more tournaments for the rest of the year. 1 this weekend, 1 the following weekend, and then 2. 1 in September, 1 in October. So.
Cool.
And then that's pretty much my season.
What you gonna do in the off season?
What was that?
Oh, I got plans for the off season.
Yeah, I'm going back to California and then training with my brother and getting in better physical shape.
Huh?
And then as well as my golf game.
And playing shooting a bunch of videos with Central Coast Disc Golf.
If you guys are coming down there.
Yeah, dude, Derek lives right by you.
Oh wait, yeah, he does.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yep.
And I'm only an hour away.
Yeah, you're down south now, right?
Yeah, I'm in San Diego now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I go up to Central Coast every once in a while, get my street cred back up. But yeah, I live in San Diego now. Cool, man. Oh, you guys have any questions?
If every disc golfer.
What's that?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Sorry, do you think that you are in the best physical shape out of like all the pro disc golfers on tour?
Probably not. I think. Well, see, I don't know how you would define that. Like Nico is probably the most cut out of anyone, and he always has been. But I don't know if that translates into the best physical shape.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to put myself up there because I have worked so hard for it, especially the last two or 3 years. And I'm only trying to get stronger and hopefully it shows. I can tell in pictures a lot more from like 2 or 3 years ago to this year. What the transformation, and it only makes me want to get more in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Any other last second questions from Paul before we cut him loose so we can go to bed?
I think that's it, man.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think we kind of covered everything.
Cool, Paul. Well, dude, I really, really appreciate coming on, Paul. And just
No problem.
Yeah.
you make it fun to film disc golf, man. Like, I can't even tell you, man. Watching what you do, and
Good.
you're fun to hang out with, man.
Yeah.
It's
For sure.
It's
That goes a long way.
Awesome.
it really does, man, for sure.
Yeah. That's good, because some people get annoyed. They're like, oh, he's always winning and this and that. And it's
No.
like, well, I'm trying to at least make it exciting.
I think it's good for the sport to have
Yeah, that's
somebody
not your
winning
fault.
all the time, and I think it's even better for the sport that it's you. I mean, the way you carry yourself, you're with like fans, the media, like you're doing everything right, and I'm sure you know that.
Thank
but
you.
Thank
you.
It's great for disc golf, man.
Agreed.
Thanks. I'm trying to go with what they call the Tiger effect.
Okay.
Make it exciting. So people always tune in to see what he does next.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you are the Tiger of disc golf. Are we gonna pick Paul? Or are you gonna pick the field? I'm gonna pick Paul.
Paul.
All day. But
Paul is the house.
he is the house, man. For sure. Cool. Well, thanks again, Paul. Do you want to thank your sponsors for you, Bill?
Yeah, of course. Another Champion disc for always supporting me and being there. Grip bags for carrying my discs of Innovative Champion discs and holding them. And then Tomahawk Shades. And then some shout-outs, to like Cellucor, who definitely helps me get in my best physical shape. And there's a few other ones. Supreme Flight,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
caddying once again.
Yeah.
Caddying once again. And then, thank all them and support them because they support disc golf, and hopefully they continue to support disc golf and grow the sport.
Cool, man.
Ooh,
Cool.
Wait, I thought of a final question.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
Pretty good.
you just won your 4th. Congrats again.
Yes, thank you.
What are you looking at for a 4th signature disc?
There's some things in the works. I don't know necessarily about a signature disc, but I can just say there's some cool tour series stuff that'll be happening.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, man.
That's good. That's good teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So keep on the lookout.
Awesome, Paul. Well, again, thanks for your time, Paul, and we'll catch you around.
Yep.
Man.
All right, sounds good.
See ya.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
You too, Paul.
Ian, pinch me.
And you guys give me like 5 minutes. I'm gonna go change my pants real quick, and then I'll be back.
Wow. Is he not the coolest guy?
Yeah,
Dude, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
He is the coolest guy.
yeah, for sure, man. That's that.
He's
just
so
wanna
good
say-
and he's so easy to root for, you know?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly. Yeah.
he could be Floyd Mayweather out there and you'd still have to respect it. But man,
Yeah, it's not like
he's a nice
Tiger,
guy.
because Tiger was an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. This is true, right?
Yeah.
He's like the best, and he's one of the nicest too.
Yeah.
Dude, you can
Jennifer
tell Nico to
Allen's
calm
gonna
down.
be-
Yeah.
Right?
And then he listens, and Nico listens too.
Cool, guys.
I just want to say real quick, he said he's trying to make it exciting so people root for him.
Uh-huh.
Anyone who doesn't think back-to-back course records and then followed by a minus 13 isn't exciting,
Yeah.
that person needs to stop watching disc golf.
Yeah, 100%.
It will not get more exciting than
Oh
that.
man, I need to edit
Okay.
that 13 down and get that up. Or sorry, what was it? Yeah, 13 down.
Yeah, it was 15 down, 15 down, 13 down.
Yeah, it was. He actually eagled a hole he didn't in his 15 down.
Jeez.
Yeah, and Nico almost rolled in an albatross on that round.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it was that. It was either that round or the 15 down round. I can't remember, but yeah, Nico almost rocked an albatross.
Some guy in like Grandmasters or Senior Grandmasters got on an albatross this weekend.
Really?
I forget. I
What?
think yeah, like Alan Beaver. I know his last name was Beaver. I forget his first name, but yeah, some dude got
Huh.
on an albatross. He got a 2 on a par 5.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
There's got to be a story behind that one.
Yeah. So
You just
Yeah.
put it in for 500 feet, man.
so
Yeah,
Probably.
easy life.
any more questions for the gallery, Anthony? Are we gonna want to wrap it up or keep rambling? What do you think, buddy?
From the sub, I got a lot of stuff we could talk about if you want.
Yeah, I got some more time. Let's rock it out.
Let's talk about some
Uh,
disc golf
questions?
news.
Let's talk about some disc
Disc
golf.
golf news.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch we can go with here. I'll just start listing stuff off. You tell me when to stop. Talk about Sarah Hokum and Paige Pierce in
Hey.
FPO.
Oh yeah,
I think it's a good place to start.
yeah.
All right.
So Sarah Hokum, if everybody didn't hear, got in a ridiculous car crash. She was rear-ended, and then pushed in the intersection, and then T-boned. And as somebody who was just T-boned, I know that doesn't feel good. And her car looks smashed, man. Her and Dawn got wrecked, and then so she missed the first 2 holes, guys.
I believe
Well,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so they held up the cards for like a long time, to try to get her to get out there, and then eventually they like had an ATV driver out to her hole. I heard there was one female player who wasn't down with waiting.
I don't know about that.
I do.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, but
You were there. I'll
yeah.
defer to you. You were there.
I won't say, but everybody else was like really, like taking extra long to walk to their discs and pretending they're lost, which I think is really cool because I mean that's it's so out of the realm of disc golf that
That's,
How
that's
nice is that?
yeah, I thought that was pretty amazing. And then watching the final 9 was like one of the I think it's like the most emotional disc golf I've ever watched in my life. Like,
Yeah,
sure.
I caught that by accident actually because I just tuned into the stream right as the final 9 was starting, and that was crazy watching them go back and forth, and then Paige on the green on the last hole.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, you could just look in her eyes and just
Wow.
Yeah.
just see the thoughts and the emotion going through her head, like, and she's like, what do I do right here? And I think she made the right decision, you know.
Yeah.
I think she did.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys watch Smashbox, their most recent one?
Yeah, I watched a little bit with Paige last night.
Yeah. She said, because they had her on obviously as the guest.
Yeah.
And she was talking with Don Smith, who I may be wrong, but I know he's at least close with Sarah Hokum.
It's at least her
And
boyfriend, if not her husband.
Something like that, yeah. And so Paige asked him, because it was going into like the final hole or something like that. Paige asked him what he thought Sarah would want her to do.
Wow.
Did he think? Yeah, she said she was prepared to lay up and let Sarah win.
Wow.
Yeah, and Don said no, she wouldn't be happy with that.
Wow.
And so Paige ran it.
Oh man, having met both those ladies, dude, they're both just like unbelievably nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell. I mean, from how they acted, and Paige giving her the trophy, and I heard she gave her the check too. So
That's what I heard as well. Yeah.
So.
Man,
Even
disc
if she
golfers are
didn't.
so nice.
Dude, I tell you, like, this is like the nicest community I've ever
It
been a
is.
part of, man.
We're a good group
hang
of
on.
people.
Yeah.
I want to go against that. We need a rivalry
Shut up,
here.
Anthony.
We need someone needs to be our just like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Someone needs to be our bad guy. I don't know who. Yeah.
It's kind of
need
Nico a little bit, but like if you actually talk to him, he's incredibly nice. But like,
Yeah, unfortunately, he's a really nice guy too.
Yeah, he is. He's like super nice.
I vote we all sway Ricky to be the bad guy.
That's impossible.
Nah,
That's
man,
literally
Rick's
impossible.
I know.
such a sweetheart, man.
He's number 2. He's right.
He
He's
is.
close to McBeth.
Yeah.
He's the one that if we could get him and Paul on the same level and they're just like sworn enemies, how much fun would that be to watch every weekend?
Yeah.
We got to get Paul, man. Get Paul to turn heel like Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Oh man.
I don't think he's got it in him, man. I was actually talking to Marty Gregoire, the media director for the PDGA. You guys know him?
Mm-hmm.
Heard the name.
Anyway, super nice guy, but he was talking to the what's the cable show dudes? Emerging Sports Network, I want to say.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and they're talking to him, and they're like, that guy right there, that's your hope for ratings, just because he's good drama. Yeah, talking about Nico.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of true. It's it's the American way. Get some drama, people will watch it.
Man, I
Get
see
back
comments
smashed
online
every
where
now
people
and
are like, "Oh, Nico's taken away from the professionalism of the sport. This is why I can't go mainstream." Like, no, man. Like, Nico is your hope.
Yeah, like what sport doesn't have a Nico, right? Like every
He's not even like throwing his discs at other people.
No,
He's just
really.
like,
Yeah.
he gets mad when he misses a putt.
He gets mad at himself, which who doesn't get mad at themselves when they screw up? So
Right?
In golf.
yeah, in golf, yes, exactly. Yeah, it's hard. So
I love how they say that to him the year that Nico's gotten a lot better.
yes, hasn't he?
The year that he's been
Yeah.
working on that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's when they say it. you
Yeah,
know?
I think they actually said that last year. So
Oh, was it?
yeah. So sorry, I didn't say that, but yeah, that was a year ago that
Yeah.
that one came out. But yeah, I enjoy Nico. He's a cool dude.
For sure.
I think he's good for
He's
the
the
sport.
most polarizing figure in disc golf. I think we can agree with that,
yeah.
right?
No, that's totally true.
Actually, to a counterpoint to that, I'll throw in terms of controversial people, Scott Stokely
Oh.
into the mix there
Oh man.
because
Not wrong. I
Well,
just
we
think
all know-
Nico's more well known.
True.
absolutely, yeah. And in terms of getting ratings for disc golf, Nico is definitely more on that sort of firecracker type level.
Yep.
Whereas for the Stokely situation, particularly after Worlds, is sort of in the disc golf bubble a little more, and is more polarizing for disc
Sure.
golfers.
Yeah.
For sure.
So do we want to talk about that whole thing?
Yeah, that was a great segue.
Yeah.
Somebody actually brought that up on the sub. They wanted us to talk about that. They even said, not necessarily whether or not we thought they were.
Oh.
weren't foot. Basically, wanted us to talk about if disc golf can stay as a self-officiated sport, where the players call foot faults on each other, or do we need something like basketball or the NFL where there's referees who call fouls on players and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, an interesting point to that is that as a former Ultimate player, most Ultimate, even at high club level, is also self-officiated. All fouls are called by the players. And one of the adaptations that was added when the two professional Ultimate leagues were made, the AUDL and the MLU, they added referees. So that's sort of, trying to take the next step, they had to add that level of authority almost.
Yeah.
So it's sort of an interesting parallel disc sport wise.
Yeah, and I feel like you have to. Like, it needs to be objective at the top.
I think
Especially in a
that's the
situation
problem,
like
though. Where do you draw the line? That's the thing that a lot of people have been saying is, you can't have an official on the top 3 cards and then nobody below that. But disc golf isn't big enough to have an official on every single card for a tournament, sort of a thing.
No, that's totally true. It's kind of where it's at right now. It would be nice, but it's not feasible right now. You have to have 18 people out there, and maybe even more. When people are spread out on the fairway, you'd be like, it's like me with a camera running back and forth across the fairway,
looking at people's feet.
Yeah.
But I kind of like when people you'll see a lot of pros ask before they throw if they're legal, which I think is pretty cool. And, and people won't lie to them. They'll be like, "Oh, you're good," and then they throw,
foot fault.
Oh, foot fault.
Got him.
I've never seen that maneuver, thankfully. But
he never played with me yet.
Good idea.
But you have golf is it's self-officiated, right? Am I wrong there? You call faults on yourself, right?
Yeah, you have to, and if you don't, then I think there are penalties for that if you get caught.
Oh, okay.
And they're rough about it. People have been disqualified from tournaments from fans calling in.
I mean, Tiger did.
After watching.
Yeah, I think Tiger lost a tournament one time because of it.
Yeah, it was at Masters. He got stroked for a bad drop.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Even though they looked at it they gave him the stroke, and then 2 days later looked at it again, and they're like, "Oh, it was actually fine." And that was called in by a guy watching on TV. So I don't know. What do you guys think about using video for replays and stuff like that, where there's controversial calls?
I mean, we had video for Stokely's foot faults.
Yeah.
It hasn't seemed to.
There's 2 angles though, and one of them from where Stokely's camp is standing makes it look like he's right on the mini, and the one over by Ken and Patrick Brown makes it look like there's a gap there. So there's a lot of forced perspective, camera tricks that can be pulled by having just the one camera.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Where do you have to? What point do you have to get it to in order for it to become completely objective?
Yeah. That's tough, man. And I can see that both points. The first point is it's a 500-foot shot. It didn't really gain an advantage, but then you can say, well, he didn't have to worry about his run up, so he could throw harder.
Yeah.
So it's two sides to it.
You can't pick and choose when to play by the rules and when not. Either you're calling somebody on a foot fault or you don't call them at all, sort of a thing.
And as a cameraman, some days I got to film 2 rounds at Mile and McIver. It's not a short day. If I'm going to need to stand there for 15 minutes to have the LCD displaying again and again and again this guy's throw, I'm going to need another battery pack.
Yeah, man.
So.
Yeah, I think it's again the same situation with the refs where it'll only be fair if it was on every hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For every card, for every player, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, man. I don't think Paul would have called him. That's all I'm saying.
He called Simon that one time.
Yeah, but
good guy, Paul.
That Simon's foot was totally off the tee pad.
That's true.
Yeah, he left a footprint in the dirt.
Yeah.
And the next shot was basically identical anyway, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah.
They're friends, so I don't. There wasn't
so
malicious in that.
While we're on the sort of topic, we were talking about Scott Stokely. He played in Masters. We're kind of on the topic of Masters at least. There's this guy called Ken Climo. I don't know if people have heard of him or not. Maybe. I figure some people have, but he just won his 15th world title in his career.
It's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, congrats, Kenny.
Yeah.
That's quite a few.
Yeah, that guy's a machine.
Yeah, he is, man. He's still clutch. Like, I remember, Alex, you filmed his final 9 last year, right?
Yeah.
And he was tied with Barry or whatever going to the last hole, and
Yeah.
Barry kind of choked on his putt, and Kenny just slammed it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's definitely impressive. He's almost got the Cal Ripken type thing going where he just keeps playing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He hasn't missed a Worlds in 15, 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're cutting out there, buddy. But it's kind of like Terry Miller actually played in like 13 straight, I want to say.
Yeah,
And,
I saw him on the card of this one.
Yeah, I think Avery also has a ridiculous streak going, something like 19 or something like that.
Dave Greenwell he's played in every single Worlds. He hasn't missed one.
Wow, that's a hell of a thing.
Yeah,
Wow, dang.
and I think he's won. I heard 25 world titles.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah. A lot of them have been like age-protected divisions and stuff, but still, 25
dude, give me
world titles.
a Dave Greenwell signature disc.
Yeah, man, for real.
Right?
He was part of
kidding.
Prodigy for a while, right? But not any.
He's one of the founders.
I think he got kicked out, man.
Did he?
That's what I heard. Maybe I'm wrong though.
But I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyway.
News to me if he is.
Yeah.
I didn't know Prodigy had any Masters players.
I think it was like
He's above Masters. He's like Grandmasters
Yeah.
or
Uh-huh.
Right.
Masters or something.
Yeah. All right, what's up next, eh?
We could talk about what's more prestigious, Worlds or the USDGC.
Worlds,
we just had
especially.
Yeah.
Got him.
Okay. I'm glad someone agrees with me because it seems like everyone thinks USDGC, but
What?
that's wrong.
That's 100% wrong. Which one do you get your name on a disc for and an X next year?
Exactly.
It's
All right, all right, okay.
Will's got 3X Prodigy discs.
bleh.
So does everyone else on Prodigy though.
And
But check-
Steve Brinster has USDGC Brinster T-Birds.
Yeah, but he doesn't own the T-Bird. It's different, right? So, like McBeast
That's true.
owns
Yeah,
the Rock
that's true.
3. Avery
And the
owns
Thunderbird.
the Destroyer. You know,
All right.
like his name is on every single one that's not somebody else's.
Well, Steve Brinster owns all the Brinster T-Birds.
Wow, I
Eric.
can't argue that.
Yeah, it's true.
Got him.
It's true. But speaking of Brinster, though, did you guys see the last hole, the final 9 yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was one of the sickest drives I've seen in such a long time.
Yeah, he crushed that drive. I didn't know he could
Crushed.
throw that far.
He's not
Yeah, man.
huge, and you don't think he could throw far, but the hop, man, the Brinster
The
hop.
power's in the hop.
Dude.
Well, plus it's like way downhill. I mean,
Yeah.
if you get the right
Yeah.
yeah, he had
angle on it, it can carry.
absolute perfect turn, perfect fade. Like you can't throw it any better than that. That was too cool to watch. His caddy filmed it on his phone, and I was walking right next to him down the fairway, and he's like, "Did you get that?" Onto his caddy, and he's like, "Yeah, but it's a phone." And I was like, "Dude, I'll send you the copy of like a good camera." He's like, "Sweet." So that's why that video exists. If you've seen it. But, yeah.
Wow. Shout out to Steve Brinster, man. He played great the last 2 rounds. Obviously, he was kind of overshadowed by Paul, but
Yeah.
played crazy though.
Yeah, there was a huge gap between the top 4 and the rest of the field,
Last
and he closed it to get
couple
it.
of-
Flying
Brinster,
Disc
right?
Association.
Yeah.
Top.
Cool. What's up next,
Sure.
buddy?
You guys want to do a couple more
Let's,
questions from the sub?
let's do like one more.
Yeah.
One
Get
more?
a good one. Get a good one.
Yeah.
Find a good one.
Don't choke.
We'll do a form one. We haven't done anything about form yet.
All right. Let's see.
So Eric, it's your time to shine.
I got this.
This this one is from you, Independent. He said, "What are 2 or 3 beginner tips that you can give to help someone break the 300-foot barrier?"
Oh. I actually got
All
something
right.
for this if you don't.
Well, you can go ahead and I can follow up with it if you want.
All right. So my 2 favorite are my biggest form flaws when I was coming up, which is weight transfer, getting all your weight on your front foot on your throw, and not rounding. by reaching away from yourself on your reach back. I got that one from Corey Higdon, Searching for Silky, the godfather of form advice. And,
Yeah, that guy know what he's talking about.
Dude, he does. And have you seen video of him crushing?
I have not actually.
Dude, he throws Paul far, like 550, 600.
Wow.
It's so fun to watch. And he's like a totally awesome dude too. But so those are my two. But Eric, hop on, buddy. What do you got?
I think that those are definitely the two biggest ones, especially the rounding. Yeah. I would actually say that it is 100% possible to break the 300-foot mark having trash weight transfer and having no idea what to do with your hips, as long as you don't round and get a good, solid, quick pull-through.
Yep.
If you can throw a putter 250 without using your hips at all, because those things will just fly off of pure arm speed and they will just glide out. As for tips beyond that, I would say that a lot of beginners often are using some kind of incorrect or non-ideal grip.
Okay.
Just because no one's ever showed them how to grip a disc, and especially if they just start playing on their own, they'll kind of just sneak two fingers under the rim and tuck their thumb in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
And stuff's hyzering out on them because they can't get a good snap on the disc because of their grip.
That's totally true. I took my dad out, and that was his actual biggest problem, was the grip. He had his index finger on like the outside of the rim.
On the rim, yep.
And he tucked it in and started crushing. You know, it was pretty cool. It's cool to watch.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people.
Go ahead.
Make out, guys.
All right.
Now kiss.
I'll jump on here. You guys will get about the extent of my form knowledge here. One thing to help a lot of beginners is disc selection.
Sure.
You know, if you're throwing 200 feet, you don't need a boss. You know, you don't need something that fast.
But it's the fastest, Anthony. It goes the farthest, dude.
Man,
the Michelin is.
You're not wrong. No, the Raquette, I think they're both 15s, but it's more understable. So
yes, so technically it would go farther.
Yeah.
And then one more, just to kind of help people. You guys were talking about, you know, your pull through and not rounding and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The way I always describe it to people is the motion you're looking for is basically, if you think about you're starting a lawnmower and you kind of pull that cord, think about that, but instead of pulling the lawnmower on the ground, you've got it parallel to the ground. So you're pulling kind of straight through. And that's more the motion you're looking for versus twisting.
Yeah. What I always tell people, what I always tell people is that if you do a pull through and you're hitting yourself in order to pull a straight line, then you'd be rounding.
Exactly. That's such a perfect way to say it.
Yeah, your body should never be in the line between your disc and its release point.
Yep, it's so key.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I've been really working on my high elbow recently.
Dude, that helps, right? That's a big deal.
Yeah, I think it makes your arm, your lever longer, basically. It's something I struggle with, but I think it's when I connect it goes.
It lets you punch. It lets you punch your elbow out farther and get to the hit with a little more velocity.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well put, man. So.
I would say that having your feet not in line with each other is a big deal.
For weight transfer, especially, yeah.
Yeah, like you want your, assuming you're right-handed, you want your right foot, like further ahead of you, and your back, like your left foot, kind of behind you. If you see any of Will's like slow motion stuff, he just like plants that left foot too, and he just like rotates, and his whole body is like corkscrew or something, hinging on that, including that leg.
No, Will's slow-mos are crazy. It looks like his knees are going to rip apart every single time he throws. It's crazy.
Yeah. He bends his knees a lot more than other pros. Have you guys noticed that one?
I have. I've watched a lot of his slow-mos, and I've noticed that he gets that sort of wave motion in his knees a lot more than a lot of people do.
No, totally.
Yeah, that if you're looking for form advice, go to that, what is it, like Will Schuster driving instruction or driving tutorial or something like that. That video that's got hundreds of thousands of views. That's the one you want to watch, and then do what he does.
Easier
And
said
throw
than
600 feet with X1s.
done.
Yeah, on a hyzer.
Yeah. The very first time I filmed was Will throwing a 550-foot hyzer. I was like, whoa, I guess that's possible.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, it totally just
Yeah.
blew my mind apart.
I was on Paul's card at Beaver State Fling, and we had just finished that long par 5. Actually, we finished the hole after that, and there were like these big cheers coming from back on the par 5. And someone over by us, like we'd waited, and everyone was like looking around. Nico's like, "What's going on?" And Big Germ's like, "Oh, what happened?" And someone comes over and they're like, "Will just eagled it." And Nico's like, "No way!" And Germ's like, "I don't know, man. He throws real far."
He didn't though, did he?
No, it was like Nate Sexton made like a 80-foot putt or something.
Oh, that'll get an Oregon crowd excited, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still,
Hometown
like,
hero.
if the hole was laid out just wide open, I have no doubt that Will could eagle a 1,200-foot par 5.
I think you're right.
There is, going back to 2013 Worlds at Lemon Lake in Indiana, there's like an 1,180-foot hole or something like that. And it was just a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard Barry Schultz eagled it from like 200 feet out or something like that in 3 shots. Yeah, just stupid. That shouldn't happen. And it's not an easy hole either. But that's the advantage of throwing that far.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Oh.
I wish.
All right, guys.
You-
You guys want
you
to wrap
guys-
it up?
Or
I think it's
call
that
it.
time.
We've rambled enough.
I think so. People
Although
have probably tuned out.
Yeah, I could ramble forever about disc golf.
Yeah. we have to stop somewhere, guys.
Yeah, we might as well. We'll say something for the next show. We don't want to blow it entirely.
Sounds good.
Eric, Alex, Anthony, this was a blast, guys.
For sure.
Absolutely.
We'll do it again. We're shooting for like once a month, every 2 weeks, something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Something like that. Whenever something cool happens, we'll do one.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Maybe after Ledgestone or something. I don't know when that is,
Yeah.
but
We'll try to have Paul
Ledgestone-
McBeth on every time. No.
Yeah,
After every win, so
Yeah.
every weekend.
Yes, every weekend.
we'll work around his schedule, but never tell him he's the 5th host.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome, man. Bro. So again, really appreciate Paul coming on, and thanks,
Yeah.
guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
later.
Yeah.
See ya.